Welcome to Realty Uncut. Our daily shows are powered by CoreLogic and supported by Printforce and Realty.com.au.
Hello and welcome to the show. Well, this week we're going to introduce a brand new show into the Realty Media Group family. It's called Real Estate Renovators, and straight up, it is not about renovating properties. It has a look at renovating businesses, real estate businesses in particular. Now, the show is the brainchild of three leading business people from legal, recruitment and PropTech. And they're producing this self-funded series devoted totally to helping anyone in the industry to improve, or as they say, to renovate their business. The episode that we're going to share with you this week is the first in their second series, as one of the hosts, Bill Nikolazakis from PropTech Group, who is my guest this week in Realty Uncut, sits down with Simon Baker. Now, all of Series 1 and the episode with Simon Baker are available right now at Realty Uncut, and I'll tell you how you can see all of them before I leave you today. Former realestate.com.au CEO Simon Baker nowadays wears many hats, and one of those is as chairman of PropTech Group. But it is his experience while he was at the helm of REA that becomes the most revealing in this interview with Bill. I'm going to touch on just some of those when I talk to Bill in just a moment.
In today's market, great ideas alone simply aren't enough, but innovative execution can hand you a real competitive advantage. Nightlight is a cutting-edge illuminated signboard by Printforce that offers round-the-clock visibility and features that maximise advertising space, improving your exposure. Buyers can now see the full picture, day or night, with Nightlight's edge-to-edge illuminated surface, which utilises environmentally friendly, scratch-resistant technology. Nightlight is as versatile as you need to be in today's market.
Bill, welcome to the show. Gee, I tell you what, there's so much to unpack in that first episode with Simon Baker. I just want to get your take on Simon's view very early in the interview. He's talking about technology and how it's going to continue to have a big impact on the industry. Well, firstly, I should have said hello and welcome. How are you?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Kevin. It's
good. By the way, too, I thoroughly enjoyed the episode, and I said in the intro to this chat that we'd tell you how you can get access to it. So stick around, I'll tell you that at the end of today's show. But Bill, just getting back on Simon's point, there's so much to talk about from that episode. A great interview too, by the way. But I just wonder, from your perspective as the COO of PropTech Group, what does the technology and the impact on the industry look like to you?
Yeah, look, Simon speaks about in the interview how, if you had to give any advice to agents when it comes to technology, is to embrace it. Technology is not going to have less of an impact moving forward in real estate. It's going to have more of an impact. And, when it comes to PropTech Group itself, we're champions of agencies and agents. We see our model is predicated on the success of the agent. So none of our products replace agents or try to displace them. In fact, our model is to embrace the agency model and give them the technology that can help them provide a better consumer experience and help them automate and systemize some of their processes, so they're not doing the mundane tasks that, first of all, they don't like doing, and second of all, they're probably not that great at, right? So, things like simple things like, automating canned responses to regular questions that you might get over email or over the phone. Helping agents do that, the simple mundane tasks easier, so they can concentrate on what's really important to the client and what's really important to them, which is spending more one-on-one time with their clients or with potential buyers. So really, when it comes to technology, and even, PropTech's just one part of it, but certainly we think that it's going to have more of an impact on agency. But I look at previous life, I was a banker, Kevin, and, so I keep an eye on the mortgage broking market, and they're probably ahead of us in technology in terms of real estate. They've got more technology in that sector, and it's making even bigger impact. And people thought it'd have a big impact on mortgage brokers and it'll displace them. And they're just growing market share more and more because people are valuing that advice more, that one-on-one interaction more. And I think real estate will go further towards that, and they'll become more professionals, seen as more professionals and advice givers rather than just salespeople.
Yeah, I think too, and I want to ask you in a moment about Simon's view on the journey, which I found to be quite revealing, and I think it sort of painted a wonderful picture for me, and I understood more about where the agent sits in this, as Simon calls it, the journey. But I want to talk also about in a moment about the moments of truth. But I sometimes think that technology has the ability to separate parties. In other words, we can stand back and we don't, we can use technology to keep in touch with people. How do we guard against that losing those moments of truth, Bill?
Yeah, it just goes back to building stronger relationships with clients, not getting technology to replace that part of it. In fact, I always think about technology. Kevin, I work for a technology company. My background's in professional services. So I look at technology as a means to an end, not the end in itself. And anywhere you can still interact one-on-one with the client, where you can actually provide value with that one-on-one interaction, we should be seeing more of that with the advent of technology, not less, because technology is now taking care of all the other stuff that doesn't create value by doing one-on-one or by getting a human to do it. So we can spend more time on the things that provide value. So, I don't think the real estate transaction is going to go online completely, and there's never going to be an agent involved. I was the CEO of iBuyNew before this property platform, and we built this amazing technology where we're the first in the country. You could take a buyer through the entire buyer journey without speaking to a human. But we got exactly 0 people to do that because everybody wants to speak to a human and they rely on that advice before they buy an asset worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, that takes me to the next point that I want to mention about Simon's interview, and it comes down to that journey, and you've just touched on that. And I think the point to remember in that is that there must be those moments of truth. And, Simon talks a lot about that they are the moments when you can really stand out and build a relationship, aren't they? So what do you see as the moments of truth in that real estate journey, Bill?
Look, I think as real estate agents become more of that advice giver, that professional, and in that professional environment, I think their big moments of truth in that journey now is around advice. So whether it's, and a lot of agency models now are moving around from localized models, but it's certainly knowing the local area where you might be in or being very strong in a niche. So, whether you're that first home buyer specialist or you're a, $2 million plus listing specialist, or you're someone that specializes in a certain area or a certain property type, we certainly think that will probably go further towards those areas, and technology will help in that way. Obviously, you can use technology to understand your market better, but also to be able to find clients that want those types of properties or have those types of properties to sell. So I think technology is going to help in that part of the buyer journey. But a big part of technology is, Simon has those 3 points that he spends a bit of time on, and one of them was know your customer and have a product that's easy to understand. And really knowing where real estate's going and having putting a bet on sort of where we think the industry is going to head is certainly where we're spending time and money on building products and investing in products and acquiring other products. So, our model is built with CRM at the center, because we know that in real estate in Australia, PropTech Group, all the agents have a specific CRM. Typically, pretty much every agent doesn't use Salesforce or HubSpot. They'll use a real estate specific piece of software because it's more than just a software system. It also helps them load their properties onto realestate.com and portal pushes, and it also does trust accounting. So having CRM at the center and then building other products and that they can connect into that system, deeply integrated, so that they can run their whole business out of one system, is where we think the future's headed. And it's been very well received in the 11 months since I've been here.
Yeah, well, of course, coming from Realty as well, which is the platform that we support, we understand the importance of that CRM integration, and it's very important that is the crucial link between the agent and the consumer, is getting their properties through. I want to touch on something that Simon, it was almost like a warning, I think, that Simon gave during his chat with you, and that was about technology and how rapidly it is changing the industry. Do you think, from your perspective as the COO of PropTech Group, that the industry is adapting to change and technology fast enough?
Look, I think it is, and in Australia especially, we're very much dominated by big franchise groups. And I can say I'm very pleasantly surprised that they're taking technology extremely seriously. A lot of them have got CTOs in their businesses now. They're embracing it. They're building their own products. Some of our biggest clients use our software, CRM systems and other pieces of software, but they very much tailor them towards their businesses, and they've got integrations with their own products that work within it. So I think the industry is embracing it. And it's look, I think the warning is that you really got no choice. If you don't embrace it, you'll be left behind. Yeah. And there's some smart people in those big franchise groups, and they understand that. So I would say overall we are embracing it. I think the real estate agent, from what I've noticed and seen, is that they're becoming more professional, and they're steering away from being just that old persona of that slick salesperson to really being a lot more about helping clients and doing those right things. And technology can help with that, of course.
There was a key lesson for me that came out of your chat with Simon and related back to the early days of REA. And, I was quite surprised to hear that, in fact, Domain was out, I think a couple of years, Simon said, before REA. I thought it was quite the other way around. But, one of the moments that really struck home for me was when Simon talked about how they were willing to ask those hard questions. One in particular was to pick the phone up and say, hey, why aren't you using us? Because it reveals so much about maybe where your product needs to be improved. I want to take that point and relate that to real estate agents, because quite often we don't win every piece of business. There's a lot to be learnt when you do lose a listing, to go back and say, hey, why did I lose that? What was it? Having the courage to ask that question was very important.
Yeah, and I had to take it always back to technology, but there's lots of technology pieces, and we're talking to some integration partners right now that help you get the best out of your surveying and ratings with clients. So understanding what they do, but a big part of what I got out of that sort of comment from Simon, and we take this back to our business, but also to real estate agents, is if you truly believe that you have the best service out there, then asking clients why they aren't using you. It can like what you said, you can bring out some things that maybe you can improve, or it can give you some intel into the market where maybe when we think, oh, we've lost that one, let's just move on. Certainly learning more about your business and about how you can improve and get that next listing is important. But I think what that rung home for me more than anything is how much belief they had in their product. They had the belief to say, why aren't you using us? You should be. We've got the best product. And I think having the best product doesn't mean you've spent the most money and you've got the best of everything, or that you're the market leader. It means that you provide the best value for money to that client. And if you don't honestly believe that you can provide the best value for money for your client, I think you're in trouble. And that goes for any industry, including real estate. You have to build a service or a product that you truly believe is the best value for that client out there.
Yeah, because perception is a reality, isn't it? And how people perceive you is all about the messaging. And I think if you get your product can be fantastic, but if your messaging is wrong and they don't understand what you really do, they're never going to buy your service, no matter how good your service is, because they just won't get to experience it, Bill.
Yeah, when you want to sell a product or service, I always say you've got three people to sell before you can sell a product or service. You have to sell yourself. You have to truly believe in it yourself. Then you have to be able to sell your team, and they have to truly believe in it. And then and only then can you go and sell to a client. So I think it's the same in real estate. If you're an agent out there and you truly believe that you're gonna get them the best price for that listing in your market, I'm sure that you'll win a lot more listings than if you didn't.
Bill, thank you once again. I just want to mention that Bill's chat with Simon Baker is going to be available. There's a link just below today's show to take you to that. There's so much in the interview that I've watched the entire interview, which had to be broken into two parts. There's so much content in there, and I was pleased that you did that, because it would have been too much in one episode, I felt, Bill.
Yeah, so if we let the rest of it play, it probably wouldn't have been too long an episode, but it was just too much good content, and you don't want to get it lost in there. And the second half comes out in the second part of season 1, so season 2, so after Christmas. But we've got 6 episodes before Christmas. Some great guests. We've got heads of industry like Simon Baker and Joe Hanna, the CEO of PropTech Group. We've got business coaches like Andy Reid, franchise heads Andrew Coronas. We've got Amazon bestsellers like Jacob Wilansky. So there's certainly some great guests coming up.
Wow, Andrew Coronis, he's a wonderful man. I've sat down with Andrew on a number of occasions. He's got a great real estate brain, thinks about it a little bit differently. So that'll be quite a compelling number of episodes. And you're going to be able to see them all on Realty Uncut. Just use the link below today's show. That'll take you to a special platform where we're hoping that we can also show you all of the first series of Real Estate Renovators as well. But that's sort of, that's something we're talking about. You may find it there. If you don't, it might be there in a few weeks' time. But check it out, check the link out. Hey, Bill, thank you so much for joining us. I love your show. I think it's got a tremendous future. Congratulations to you and the others on your team, because this is a self-funded project and I think you're giving so much back to the industry, and we are so proud to be able to support you in that. So thanks, Bill.
Yeah, thanks very much, Kevin. Cheers.
Well, there it was. Absolutely fascinating. I'm sure you took lots of notes in that. Wait till you see the full episode. As you heard, that interview with Simon Baker is over 2 episodes. The first of those is available right now by jumping on the link below today's show, which will also take you to all of the past episodes from Series 1 and will be where you'll find all of the future episodes. But that's it for me today. Thanks for being with us. Make sure you catch up on that interview with Simon Baker. I'm Kevin Turner. We'll see you next time.
Realty Uncut is part of the Realty Media Group and is powered by CoreLogic and Printforce. See all our shows, Realty Talk, The Property Show, Realty Uncut and Auction Update at realty.com.au, the home of property.